Hey there, Jeremiah here, thrilled to welcome you to the Throw Zone, where I'll be teaching you all about the juggling arts. This video is specifically designed for someone who wants to get familiar with clubs as a prop, but doesn't necessarily have any juggling experience, or certainly no juggling experience with clubs. So, with that in mind, you're only really going to need one for this whole video. But the first question is, where do you hold it? Hold it on the handle. Many people will hold it by the knob, and that's not really where you want to learn to throw from. Though it is useful in more advanced techniques, you're going to want to hold it by the handle, swing from the shoulder and the elbow, and release the club with enough force that the center of gravity of the club is just a little bit above your head. So holding it from the handle, I push it up into the air for a single flip. You want to throw the club slightly across your body. You don't want to just throw it straight on because you don't want to conflict with your arm. So if I throw the club straight on like this, when I catch it, it has a tendency to want to interfere with my arm. So by angling the throw a little bit, I actually create more space for the catch. Notice the difference? Plenty of space. And then I can use the momentum from the throw, at least in part, to take it to the other side. So I actually angle my throws about 45 degrees in the two different directions at my most comfortable cascade. This will create more space for the other clubs. Other things to pay attention to: the throw happens from the center of my body. So I'm releasing the club from somewhere along my center line and catching it more on the outside. Throw from the inside, catch on the outside. There's two primary sources of force that you can apply to the club. One is with the shoulder and elbow that kind of work in tandem to provide the height of a throw. The other is the wrist, which provides the rotation of the throw, or the speed of rotation, I should say. For the most part, your throws should come from the elbow and shoulder. The club naturally wants to rotate, so when you swing your shoulder and your elbow and you push it up into the air, chances are it's gonna do a flip. It might not rotate enough, or it might rotate too much, in which case you wanna make some little adjustments to the amount of force you're applying from either your wrist, elbow, or shoulder. If you find yourself over-rotating the club, try adding a little less flick, or adding a little more swing. If it's under-rotating, maybe you need to add more flip with your wrist. Give it a little extra flick. You can experiment. The only way to get a consistent throw is to keep trying. And I gotta tell you, you are going to drop it. Even with just one club, you are going to drop it because you don't know what the perfect throw is yet. And the only way that you're gonna find out is by continuing to attempt to throw a perfect throw and making adjustments along the way. So along with that comes a sense of experimentation. It's up to you to figure out what works right in order to get the desired result. That's part of the fun of juggling, is you're experimenting. You're figuring out how your body interacts with the world around you. And there's no reason you should be able to do this without practice. So be patient with yourself. One of my favorite little drills is using the momentum from one catch to lead into the next. So rather than throwing it on 45-degree angles like I have been, I'm gonna open up the pattern and throw it on 180 degrees. So I'm gonna start from the outside, swing to the opposite side where I'll release the throw, catch it, and immediately swing into the next throw. So I catch it on the left, I let it swing all the way to the right before I toss it. So there's a downward force when I catch it that already wants to lead to the other side. I just have to allow it to do so. And that helps keep it on a nice straight line. This starts to provide some of the fundamental concepts that allow one to really flow smoothly with clubs, adding extra spins, adding tosses that seem to be a continuous motion from the previous throw. Another great thing to practice is adjusting the forces that you are applying. So rather than your standard throw, try rotating it a little faster and throwing it lower. Or try throwing it higher with the same amount of rotation. You can also combine those two things. Throw it higher and try and get it to rotate as a double. At some point, you're going to want to calibrate your doubles. Might as well start now. You can also try flipping the club faster and get 2 doubles in the time of a single. As you're practicing juggling, as you're experimenting with your throws, you will hit a plateau in the amount that you can learn today. It's going to end up being more useful for you to do a lot of sessions that are shorter periods of time more frequently than it is for you to cram all of your practice into a single day's long session. Your brain and your body, they take time to process things. You process a lot overnight. And so when you feel like you've plateaued in your practice and you just aren't getting the number of catches that you want, or you don't feel like you're having the success you're hoping for, maybe you just need to take a break and sleep on it. Try it again the next day. You might be surprised at how much better you are when you wake up in the morning. Well, as I told you, this class was going to focus on the very basics and only use one club. So there's lots more to learn in other videos that I'll include in the description of this video to teach you the next steps in your club juggling journey. I've created a Patreon designed to help you level up your juggling skills. This is a place where you actually can engage with a community of people who are actively learning. You'll be able to access me as an instructor, asking me questions, sending me videos to get direct feedback, and even getting one-on-one sessions. So if that sounds good to you and you want to level up your juggling skills, check out the Throw Zone Patreon. You can find it in the description below.